Hello, I'm Mitch Henck with a few observations on the Scott Walker announcement speech. First of all, I thought I was watching a kid who at the age of 10 was clipping out Ronald Reagan speeches. He said, again, that we celebrate July 4th and not April 15th. That's what Reagan said exactly in his dumb speech. When did Walker get married? On February 6th, Reagan's birthday. He talked about being tough and nobody could lay a hand against us and going after ISIS and fighting to win. He negated the Iranian arms deal before he even read the deal, so he sounded real tough and was to the right on everything. Talked about his folksy stories from his hometown, about the World War I and World War II vet that he knew working in sessions for the Boy Scouts. He did all that stuff, and a lot of callers on my show said he did it without notes, he did it without a prompter. Well, I've seen that same speech myself on C-SPAN in Washington at CPAC and also in the Value Summit in Iowa. So it's a stump speech he does all the time. He doesn't need a prompter, but people don't watch C-SPAN. They were impressed. He was folksy, but more importantly, he was on the right. What do people on the right say about Romney and McCain? That they weren't conservative enough. Walker's not going to let that happen to him. He's going to stay in the right. When people say, well, then he can't win the general election. Well, you know what? He'd settle for the nomination about now. You can't score a touchdown unless you get a first down first, unless you run the kickoff back or punt, which would be happy for Walker to do. No, Walker is going to be on the right and stay on the right. He's going to try to run against McCain and Romney. Say, hey, vote for me, I will fight. He wants to fight on foreign policy, wants to fight on taxes, wants to fight liberals on the social issues. No, he won't have people say he was too moderate or too far to the center. Now when he goes, if he does win the nomination, he goes into the fall, then he can try to be moderate. Remember, he did that against Burke. He ran that abortion ad 2 weeks out and said, I want to make sure women have options and that the final decision between a woman and her doctor. Well, if you're pro-life, you don't say that. There's no decision to be made. It's life or death. But yet he somehow crafted the ad to soothe the fears of some Republican women and other women around the state. No, he can do that. I wouldn't underestimate this man. He wins 3 times in 4 years in Wisconsin, a state that hasn't gone for a Republican president since Reagan in '84. Just word for the wise. Don't be cocky in trying to say he will lose soon because he hasn't lost in a while. My 2 cents, my 2 minutes, brought to you by Edge Construction and Capital Consultants. Bill Wakashin, a lobbyist who can get things done. We can argue about it tomorrow on the radio on 92.1 FM at 8 o'clock. See you then.